How can you tell when you're awake and dreaming or asleep and remembering? No, is it asleep and dreaming or awake and remembering? It's funny, isn't it, that line? How can you... It's from it's from Johnny Get Your Gun, the movie, or Johnny Got His Gun, Metallica one film clip. And it says, how do you know if you're asleep and dreaming or awake and remembering, you know? That's how it feels sometimes when I feel about my X-Wing. It's like, I do all this stuff, feels like an instant. I'm sort of back here, and I've flown to space, and like, tonight I felt like I parked it close by just to see sort of what would happen, you know, would anyone come over to it? And it's not a threat, it's got defenses, but more like deterrent, like a rat sort of, or not saying rats are bad, but like a signal that will send people away, you know, so people don't bother it. Or but if anyone's too threatening, it's got self-guidance, it'll just bugger off, you know. So there's no worry about it. It's just like a car in the backyard or something with a beeper on it. It just doesn't want you near it because I don't want anyone damaging it or touching it, or more for your own safety, you know. So you don't damage God's work or heavenly anything in heaven. You don't bother it. You leave it in peace. So, and peace doesn't mean you have to stay away. It just means you just enjoy it. You don't threaten it or anything. There's no conflict. So, when I was at peace in the Blue Mountains, I was just enjoying life again. Before that, I was in conflict with myself and worries, and I got up there and I was just at peace. I went to heaven and I saw the future and it was all good, so I didn't worry so much, you know. And you can see the future. It doesn't mean it's all going to be exactly how you think about it, but it's a promise you make to God, and God promises to protect you. So, you know, sort of finding the truth. And I realise it's just good health, really. The rest takes care of itself, really. Your life has a certain meaning, direction, and a lot of history has been through torment and that, but I saw heaven is just more through good work, you know. So the work doesn't have to be karma, you know. The wheel of karma, you can step off that. Karma is where you get hurt and you try and make up for it, or you revenge or something. The wheel of karma is getting off that and just doing constantly good work. It's not good in this society. It's not easy, you know, when you're constantly held down by, you know, societal sort of financial problems, you know. You can't seem to get a job, things don't work. And I realise the problem is we should be getting paid a bit more for basic living. Like, that's how the world should be. It's sort of constitutional that we're put in a society we didn't actually decide upon, you know. It's decided for us, we're born into it. We're not a natural thing out in the bush, are we? Whereas we would forage and find things. Here there's structures and other people, and we should be catered, like compensated or catered to be able to afford to live here a little bit, just enough to be able to get the facilities and things to work, because you can't just always rely on your family. There's people that don't have family around, and or people whose families aren't into the things they're doing, you know, for whatever reason. So that basic living should cover that for individuals to be able to survive basically in society, to have a roof over their head and a mode of transport and a bit of education and healthcare. So the rest, you know, is a luxury they should work for. So, but we do, like, the work is being a good citizen, you know, obeying the law, doing the right thing, cleaning out rubbish, doing, you know, if people had more time in their hands, there'd be people that just love walking around picking up rubbish, you know, or people that just love fixing concrete. They'd go and just do it, you know, because out of the kindness of their own heart. They wouldn't have to, would avoid all this paperwork, would avoid all this other sort of bureaucratic rubbish, you know. Or we could even get rid of licenses, you know, all this sort of stuff, that people would be more safe, I think. They'd be more responsible, treating a little bit with respect from government, like putting the power back in the people's hands a bit, not just treating us like limp little lambs, you know, that we can't take care of ourselves. But, you know, taking care of yourself isn't doing everything yourself. It's allowing others to help you as well, you know. So that should stem from the top. It should come down a little bit of help to help us up on our feet. And that way, if we're sick, we don't have to lose the roof overhead. We don't lose our rental. We don't lose our home. We can still afford to pay back our loan and not feel like we're destitute. So it'll get rid of all those bankrupt problems too. So if a business is failing, they can use that money just to keep it afloat while they learn. Because not everyone knows how to run a business straight away. They're learning. I still am trying to learn how to run a business in this world. I think it's impossible without that payment. I can't see a way around it other than prostituting yourself, which is a form of death. So I don't do that. I'm going to heaven, so I can't do death. So maybe that's the problem. There's this attitude in society, live and die and life's pointless, so why bother helping anyone? We're just meat. But that's not what it is. We have a destiny, we have a life, we have a history, and we have a future. And we need a little bit more help to get us along, because it's not that we're asking for help, it's our rights. We should have it anyway. And it should just gently increase to about, year to 3000. It will have everything we need by then to enjoy space and restore the planet. And it's about being responsible. We can give the land back to the people that want it. Freely, more for animals and hunting, and be more of a playground more for natives to feel like they can slowly develop then into the world they want as well, which is probably a bit different to ours. I mean, ours is just a house and shit. I mean, it's nothing that different. Just we didn't want to sit out in the cold, So all this thing, we've taken over, it's not. We tear this down in 5 minutes, but we don't. I'd rather leave it like a snow globe under the ocean once it's all filled up with water and we have the world back the size it should before it collapsed. Have like a big snow globe, have the Sydney Harbour Bridge underwater, or even under a little dome. You could go inside of it, go in under and get sucked in under the water. And because once a dome's in underwater and it's stable and there's air in it, you can even have sort of little machinery in there that turn the air particles, the water particles, into more oxygen. Not that you probably need it. They're probably just the precipitation, the effect of the atmosphere. But once a dome's on there and the water's over it, as long as it's strong enough to hold the pressure, the water bubble will just stay, the air bubble will just stay in there, and it'll reconstitute with the water anyway. So it'd be cool to have underwater cities once the ocean fills up, and then we have the canopy on again, which is part of why I was building these X-Wings and all these things to get the resources from Saturn to build Earth back, and then all those rings should be here around Earth and the moons that broke and during that cataclysm. So, but yeah, it's just the same with Skyrim. That's really just to build the Earth back. I mean, all these superheroes, Spider-Man, all these people are there to do this sort of work. I mean, I can call all these people back any time. Wonder Woman, Superman, there's millions of superheroes come and just do all the work. It's just, I don't want to do it if no one sort of understands what's going on. I don't want them sitting there worrying and firing missiles while we're trying to do all this stuff. So that's the process. It's there, but the money's just not getting through. Like, it's not getting through to government that's what's, you're meant to spend the money on us. Not just roads and shit for us to do, on us ourselves, to give us a bit of pocket money. So if you want to think of it like giving the kids pocket money, well, just give a little bit more. $400 a week's not enough to do anything. It's basically enough to get all I get is a bit of TV service and barely even food, Like, once I pay my rent, my few bills and that, I only had enough for about, and Dad actually had to give me 100 of his to get food, so it's too hard. Like, it's just we're suffering too much. Should be, several $1,000s. I mean, by now it should be about 15 grand a week. Just to afford the stuff we need to do to get to the space age. It's expensive, But that said, building up good businesses, like, there's a lot of wasted space, a lot of wasted businesses. We could, all those old warehouses, we could fill those up with, art galleries and get people doing stuff again instead of sitting around depressed, dying on drugs, or prostitution, dying of AIDS. Get them out doing more things, then there won't be so much population, and I'm sure people will realise, I don't have to root around so much to make money. I don't have to do all this sex stuff to have babies and do it in, traffic children. We can sit around our own children and enjoy their company and their love and all that great stuff, I don't care if you're bored of it. You know, you shouldn't be assaulting other people's kids. You know, so I wouldn't like it done to me. So I stick up for little kiddies that, you know, you don't do that sort of thing to little children. Now getting away from all that sort of argument and all that sort of contention, you know, I think people will realise that once you are busier, doing a lot of stuff in the day and doing the stuff you should be doing, you don't think about all that other stuff so much. You get home, maybe with your wife, have a little bit of fun at home, and then that's it. You don't have to be doing it day or night and showing the whole world on videos your bits and pieces all day and night. I get sick of hearing about, seeing it, and you know, it's on your phone and on shows, and you don't want all that on media because it's like dead stuff saying this is life. It's like dead material. You want the real thing in sitting with you, holding your hand and kissing, cuddling and having dinner together. We all want that, sit around the kitchen table and have a meal with our family, you know, and the way the state is run, it's just impossible for us to do that, you know, and you get all these miscreant kids getting born that don't have any morals, and I don't know why they think that way, you know. Are they terrorists in our country? Are they Colombians taking over? I mean, we're one world. The whole of this landmass should be one plateau, you know, with an ocean on top. The core of the Earth should be covering the sea and be a big sphere of, you know, solid mass, and then put all the water on top, and then, I mean, you have a few caverns in that where all the animals go and live and hide and all that, but it'd be great to see the Earth like that again, with big sea monsters out there floating around. And if we're happy, they're happy, you know. That might bother us a bit, that's normal. But if we have all the right sort of protections in place, we'll be all right. You don't have to, you know, you don't have to imprison them, but you can just like have a bit of protection. I mean, by then we'll have the superpower X-Wings. If something happens, you just fly off, you know, or fly around. And with sea monsters, you don't have to go killing them all like we did, you know. It's terrible killing all the sea monsters. They're there to really inspire the fish to be really nice. And I mean, I'm running out of energy. Someone's listening to me probably upset. I don't know why they're upset by progression and advancement and heading towards the future, which is fixing up the past. At the moment, I'd love to move on, you know, from all that and move out to space and do other things, but we're stuck here for so long, jerking around, doing bullshit, you know. It's all it really is feeding our brain entertainment we don't need. We've had enough. We should be out working and earning a living. We're wasting this animal flesh and vegetation, eating too much all day and night, not doing any work. And I'm ready to do it all. It's just held back. I can't find a partner. I need my kids and family around me. Anyway, so yeah, food for thought. I want my X-Wing. Getting closer, but I don't want people bothering me. I want to park it somewhere and go and jump in and go for a fly. I don't want to be doing it while I'm asleep or dreaming or not sure it's happening or partially sort of, unconscious while I'm doing it. I want to walk over, climb in and go for a fly. I'm not going to bother no one. It's heaven. It doesn't bother anyone. You'll see it and go, wow, that's great, you know. So embrace the changes, you know. Don't be afraid. Be honest, be open, and talk about stuff.